Settle in. Tonight I have somewhere very special to take you. This is the library at the end of sleep. You are lying in your bed. The sheets are pulled up to your chin. Soft cotton, cool against your skin, but warming slowly from the heat of your body. Your pillow has found that perfect shape, the one it only finds on the best nights, cradling the side of your face just so. The rain outside is gentle, not a storm, nothing so dramatic, just a whisper of water against glass, a hush that smooths the edges of every sound in the world. Your breathing has slowed. You notice it now, how each inhale feels longer, how each exhale feels warmer. There's that space between awake and asleep, that soft threshold where your thoughts stop making sentences and start making shapes, colors, half-formed things that drift like smoke. You're right there now, right on the edge, and that's when you see it. Not with your eyes. Your eyes are closed, but somewhere behind them, in that velvet darkness, a light appears. Warm amber, the color of honey, held up to a candle. It pulses once, twice, gently like a heartbeat, and you understand, without anyone telling you, that it's an invitation, so you follow it. You're walking now, though your body hasn't moved. You're walking down a corridor made of something old, stone perhaps, but warm stone, the kind that's been soaking in sunlight for 100 years. Beneath your bare feet, it feels smooth, almost like river rock, and faintly warm. Each step is quiet, hushed. The walls on either side of you are close but not confining. They curve gently, like the inside of a seashell, and as you trail your fingertips along the surface, go ahead, reach out, feel it. The stone is impossibly smooth, cool to the touch at first, then warming where your skin meets it. There are tiny grooves in it, like the grain of ancient wood, and your fingers trace them slowly as you walk. Can you feel that? The texture under your fingertips, smooth, then a tiny ridge, then smooth again. The amber light grows brighter, warmer, and now there is a scent. Old paper, not musty, not decaying, the good kind. The kind that fills a room full of books that have been loved, dry and sweet and faintly vanilla, the way old pages smell when they've been kept somewhere safe for a very long time. And then you reach the door. It's tall, arched at the top, made of dark wood, the kind with deep grain that you could stare into like a painting. There's a brass handle, rounded and heavy, and when you wrap your fingers around it, it's warm, not hot, just held warm, as though someone gentle was holding it for you a moment ago and just let go. You turn the handle. It gives with a soft, satisfying click, the kind of sound a well-made thing makes when it does exactly what it was built to do. The door swings open, slowly, silently. Step inside. Oh, the room that opens before you is vast and impossible and perfect. It is a library, but not like any library you've visited while awake. The ceiling stretches up and disappears into a warm darkness above, like looking up into the sky on a clear night, except instead of stars, there are tiny floating lights, little drifting sparks of amber and gold, circling lazily, casting the softest shifting glow across everything below. Bookshelves line every wall, stretching from the floor to as high as you can see. They are made of that same dark, beautiful wood, and they are filled with books, thousands of them, tens of thousands, leather-bound and cloth-bound, with spines of deep burgundy, forest green, midnight blue, and soft cream. Some are thick, some are thin, some have gold lettering that catches the light. Some have no titles at all. The air is warm here, not the dry warmth of a heater, the living warmth of a room with a fire. And there, across the room, you see it, a fireplace, wide and deep, built from pale stone. The flames inside are low and steady, the color of autumn leaves, and they make that sound, that perfect, unhurried crackling, that makes everything in the world feel all right. Listen to it for a moment, just the fire, just the warmth. There are armchairs near the fire, deep ones, the kind you don't sit in so much as sink into. They're upholstered in something soft, velvet maybe, or brushed wool, in a shade of deep blue that reminds you of the sky just after sunset. There are blankets draped over their arms, quilts, hand-stitched, heavy enough to feel like a gentle hug when you pull them over your lap. On a small side table next to one of the chairs, there is a cup. Steam rises from it in a slow, curling thread. You lean closer. It smells like chamomile and honey, with something else beneath it. Lavender, maybe. Something that makes your shoulders drop a little further from your ears. You can sit down if you'd like. The chair is waiting for you. You settle into the chair. The velvet gives beneath you, soft, deep, perfectly worn. The quilt finds your lap, as though it placed itself there. The warmth from the fire reaches you in slow, steady waves, like being rocked gently without moving at all. And then you hear footsteps, soft ones, the sound of someone who has been walking quietly for a very, very long time, not in a hurry, never in a hurry. Don't worry, you're safe here, completely safe. The librarian appears from between two tall shelves, and you know at once that they have always been here. They are old, ancient perhaps, but in the way that mountains are old, patient, unhurried, their faces lined with the kind of wrinkles that only come from a lifetime of smiling gently. Their eyes are warm, the color of dark tea, and they look at you the way a grandparent looks at you when you visit after a long time away. They wear soft layers, a long cardigan in a color somewhere between oatmeal and sand, a scarf of faded blue draped loosely around their shoulders. Their hands are weathered, careful, the hands of someone who has turned 10 million pages with reverence. They carry a single book. You found your way, they say. Their voice is barely above a whisper, but it fills the room the way the warmth from the fire does. Completely, gently, without force. You always do, on nights like these. They settle into the chair beside you, with the ease of someone who has done this 1,000 times. The book rests in their lap. It's bound in soft leather, the color of chestnuts, and the cover is worn smooth by years of hands. When they brush their thumb across the surface, you can almost hear the leather sigh. Every book in this library, they say, turning to look at the shelves that surround you, holds a dream, not a made-up story, a real dream, the kind that comes to you when you're sleeping so deeply that the world outside forgets you're in it. They open the book. The spine gives a soft creak, the sound of something well-loved being revisited. The pages inside are thick and cream-colored, with slightly rough edges, the kind you can feel with the pad of your finger. The text is handwritten in ink that has faded to a warm sepia, the letters round and careful. This one, they say, is a meadow, and as they speak, you feel it happen. The library doesn't disappear. It simply expands. The edges of the room soften, and the air changes. It smells different now. Green, alive. The scent of wild grass after a warm rain. The sweetness of clover. The faint dusty fragrance of pollen. You are in the meadow, or the meadow is in you. It doesn't matter which. The grass comes up to your waist, and it brushes against your palms as you walk through it, cool and silky, and bending easily under your touch. The sky above is the color of a ripe peach, that impossible gradient of amber and rose and pale gold that only happens in the 10 minutes after sunset. Feel the grass against your hands. Each blade is soft, thin, cool. There are fireflies, just a few at first, then more, drifting up from the grass like sparks rising from the earth. They pulse slowly, on, off, each one its own small, quiet heartbeat of light. You walk for a while. There's nowhere to be, nothing to do, just the grass and the light, and the sound of crickets singing their one long, steady note. And then gently, the meadow folds itself back into the pages of the book. You are in the chair again. The quilt is warm across your lap. The fire has settled into its deepest, steadiest rhythm. Long, slow crackles with silences between them. The librarian is turning to the next section of the book, and the sound of each page is exquisite, a soft, papery whisper, like a secret being passed from one hand to another. There are more dreams in here, the librarian murmurs. A forest where the trees hum, an ocean that is perfectly warm and perfectly still, a room in a cottage where bread is baking and snow falls outside the window. But you don't need to visit them right now. You can feel them, all of them, like colors seen through closed eyelids. The forest is green and deep. The ocean is dark blue and endless. The cottage is golden and small and safe. They are here. They will be here whenever you come back. You can always come back, the librarian says, as though reading your thoughts. This library exists at the edge of sleep. It's always here. You simply have to close your eyes and drift. They close the book. The leather cover makes a soft final sound, not a snap, but a gentle press, like two palms placed together, like a prayer. The fire is embers now, deep, glowing red-orange, pulsing with the slowest breath. The floating lights above have dimmed to almost nothing. Faint, faint gold, drifting in long, lazy circles, like dust motes in a sunbeam at the very end of the day. The librarian has settled deeper into their chair. Their eyes are soft, almost closed. The book rests against their chest, rising and falling with each slow breath. Everything is so quiet now. Your body is heavy, not the heaviness of tiredness or ache, the heaviness of total comfort. Every muscle has let go. Your hands are still and warm. Your feet are warm. The quilt holds you gently in place. You feel yourself sinking, not falling, never falling, sinking, like settling into deep, warm water, like snow landing on a meadow, slow, soft, inevitable. Let yourself go. There's nothing to hold on to, nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to do. The library is still here. The books are still here. The fire, the chair, the quilt, the librarian, all still here. But the edges are softening now. The shapes are blurring into warmth. The sounds are folding into silence, and that's all right. The library will be here when you come back. It's always here, at the edge of sleep, waiting, patient, warm. Good night.